Good morning. I'm at a stoplight so I could press start on this video without any problem. So I thought I'd talk to you this morning about mastery. I'm on my kick again at the end of the year where I get into this countdown. And I love the countdown because it makes me, I don't know, it just stirs up that competitivism that is in me. I'm a very competitive person, always have been. I don't know if some of my high school friends remember when I used to play football with the guys every day at lunch until one of the guys got his neck broke, Jerry Kilgore, for anybody who remembers, and they stopped us from playing football every day at lunch. But I have learned over time that in order to become an expert or master a subject, it takes time. Now, what they say is that it takes 20 hours to become good at something. The experts say that it takes about 1,000 hours to become, to learn a skill, it takes 20 hours. To become good at it may take 100. To become an expert, it takes about 1,000 hours. But to become a master, it may take 10,000 or more. I looked at a chart today, and for a neurologist, it said that a neurologist may take 42,000 hours. Some other fields may take less, like to become an expert at knitting, I think it was like 700 hours, yoga, 700. Some of them, it varies to become an actual expert or to master the subject. It depends on what you're doing. But what I do want to tell you is that whatever you're doing, whatever you want to become good at, I don't care if you're 10 or if you're 100, it's going to take you some hours to become an expert or master that subject. For grant writing and coaching, for business, for life, for personal things, I think I've probably mastered, maybe one of those subjects. I think I've mastered it. For grant writing, for every 1,000 grants I write, I lose about 200. Now, those people who lost those 200, they don't feel that good, and neither do I, because I hate losing. Sometimes when I lose a grant, I don't even want to write no more. I just get in that point. I don't even want to write no more, because I want everybody to get the grant. But grants are competitive, and there's so many different reasons that you would either get one or lose one, and I'm so thankful to God. In the last week or two, maybe 3, I've gotten several grants, gotten a call on $500,000 grant, which means that whenever they ask you for something, not a call, but an email, whenever they ask you for some more information, that means that normally you are being considered, which is a great thing. So I expect to have some good news coming up. So I believe I have pretty much become a master at the grant writing subject. And as far as life coaching, personal, academic, professional, I'm wanting to become a master in those subjects. And even in the grant writing, I'm not through. I am still working on some things. I told you I'm going after this CFRE, which stands for Certified Fundraising Executive. Now, even to qualify for that, you've got to pay $975 to even be able to take the test. But they don't just want your money like some people. You have to qualify to even apply. To even sit for the test. You have to have so many degrees. You have to have so much performance, which means that you have to have won, I think it's 100,000 in grants in the last year. You have to, let's see, what else do you have to have? And I met that without any problem because I've done a million, so it wasn't no problem to do that little 100,000. You have to have had performance, you have to have education, you have to have volunteerism, teaching, practice. You have to have it all in order to even qualify to sit for this exam. And I sit for the exam October 12th, and I am praying to God that I find some time to sit down and master that subject. I've got to give it those 20 hours, to become good at it. I think I'm already good at the subject, but there's some things that I've got to sharpen up on, because in taking that CFRE, it's more than about grant writing. It is about fundraising, and you have to learn how to do. You have to learn how to set up bequest and where people, when they die, they leave their money to whoever. And there's so many ways to raise funds besides just grants. So you have to learn the other side of the house. I think I've mastered the grant side of the house, but there's some other sides of the house that I haven't. So I have to study on those areas, and that'll make me a better fundraiser or a better grant writer, because I can tell people about more different levels. So I haven't stopped learning, even though I feel like I've kind of, pretty much maybe got an 80% track record on the grant writing. There's some other areas in that subject area that you want to become good at. So I'm working on that. So today I'm talking to you about mastery. That's enough about me. And remember, you is anybody who wants to receive it. If it's not you, then don't worry about it. You can always turn me off. But for those of you who are trying to become good at something, you want to master a subject, give it that time. Those of you who've gotten your 501c3 and you want to make sure that you want to use it, and you want to use it right now, and you want money right now. It don't work that way. You have to master that. Remember, 20 hours to become good at a skill, to master a skill, 100 hours maybe to become good at it, 1,000 hours maybe to master it, but 10,000 hours to become an expert. So I don't know where you are in this situation. I'm not sure what it is that you are trying to do. Make sure that you are willing to give it that time. Yes, God has blessed us with talents, but you have to cultivate that talent. Knee-high to a bumblebee, I had an aptitude for math and systems. So I learned how to play piano. I just learned how to learn the skill of piano at maybe 6 years old. And everybody, I taught everybody in my household to play something. Mr. Price, you see him on the sax. When he first started, I taught him the basics of the sax. Now he runs circles around me because he practiced. Now there's some things that he doesn't practice, so there's still some things that he could become an expert in, but he's practiced. Marcus started a little bit with him on the keyboard, and then Brother McIntyre helped him. Marcus practiced, so he's become better at it. You practice anything, you will become better. So if you want to master something, if you want to become an expert at something, you want to become good at something, you have to practice. You have to give it that time. It may not just happen. Even if God has given you a gift, even if you have an aptitude, almost every other day, every day or so, I'm practicing on the bass, and even more now because I'm going to be playing for this band on Sunday, in this group on Sunday, for Sister Teresa McClendon, who I consider an expert at her craft, and with Sister Beverly Fuqua, who I did not know was an expert at her craft, but she is definitely an expert. So with those people, I get to play with them, and so I'm so excited about being able to play with them, which means that I have been practicing in my spare time, because I love the bass. I played flute in high school, and I played a little bit of sax, played a little bit of those instruments on my own, but I like the bass because the bass is bumping and it's loud. I love the bass because the flute was always all piddly little, you couldn't even hear the thing, So I want to do that. Whatever you want to do, give it that time. Give it that time. You will master the subject if you give it that time. 20 hours to learn a skill, 100 hours to become good at it, 1,000 hours to master it, but 10,000 hours or more to become an expert. Let's do it together. I'm on this countdown, 96 days to the end of this year, and I want to have that CFRE, and I think next year I'm going to get some other certifications. Why? Because I want to. And you don't like it? Too bad. I'm sorry. And yes, I'm 57 and loving every minute of it. So you better come on board, because these little jobs, they are not guaranteed. All right, love you guys. Have a great day. Share this if you like. I love you too. Hi, Marquita. Hi, Monique. Monica Henderson, love you, baby. Dorsey Mitchell, Makita House, my girl, my project manager. Oh my God, Dorothy Madry, woman of God, awesome woman who's entrepreneur. I'm just so excited. Alrighty. Y'all have a great day.